In your opinion, what is the most beautiful sounding language that you have heard? Italian, but I'm very biased. Lol, smiley face. Hawaiian. I'm not learning it, but I'd like to eventually. I love the sound of Irish or any Celtic language. Icelandic, Norwegian. I feel like Korean, Chinese, Thai and French are beautiful sounding. Lovely each and every one, and even though it's more an accent than a language itself, Australian English is funny and lovely at the same time. Spanish, Swedish, Korean. For me, I find the Slovenian and Persian Farsi languages particularly beautiful. Ukrainian is gorgeous. I know everyone thinks it sounds mean and aggressive. I even scrolled through all comments to see if anyone already said this, but I think Russian sounds so beautiful and sexy. Korean sounds very soft and relaxing. Top 10. Least to most: 10 Thai, 9 Zulu, 8 Slovak, 7 Modern Greek, 6 Irish, 5 Romanian, 4 Bread and Batar. Sorry France, 3 Finnish, 2 Quenya. Is this cheating? 1 Northern Sami. Spanish. Since there are 22 countries that speak it, there is a variety of accents and dialects which make the language beautiful. Modern Greek, Turkish, and correctly pronounced Classical Latin. For me it's nearly impossible to choose between Italian and Romanian. If I hear someone speaking either, they become instantly more attractive to me. Haha. German. It's a really beautiful language. Biased answer: Arabic, but personally I am very interested in German and why I have decided to learn it. Dutch was something I thought sounded very weird and rough at first, but soon developed to be interested in the language. Scottish Gaelic. Just listen to Julie Fowlis. Polish and Hungarian. Romanian. Finnish. I could listen to the Finnish language all day long. Greek is so beautiful, I'm gonna learn it someday, but it's so hard. The second is Spanish. German, without a doubt. It sounds so sexy and relaxing to me. Russian as well. It sounds good to me. I love Hungarian's musicality, but since I'm struggling with learning the language, it took away a part of that attraction feeling. Edit: how could I forget Croatian? Jesus, I could listen to people speaking it for days at end. Lithuanian. Romantic face. Brazilian Portuguese, by far. Japanese in second place. Brazilian Portuguese by far. Italian, certainly, but I'd like to put in a word for Swedish. It has a whispered, murmured quality to it, and the inflections give it a musical lilt. It's enchanting. When it comes to song, Welsh and Scots Gaelic are hands down winners. My favorite is a little niche since it's a dead language, but I have this particular love for Latin being spoken in its reconstructed pronunciation, that is, not church Latin. It's something about the cadence and soft sounds mixed with the trilled R. I heard a native Italian speaker speak reconstructed vulgar Latin and it was amazing. It brought to life a language that we often forget was spoken just like our own languages and wasn't only written in stone. Either Russian or German. Spanish. Icelandic, Brazilian Portuguese or Icelandic. Russian. I just love how the palatalization makes the language sound. Bonus points if it's a girl speaking with a cute voice. Finnish, German, and Norwegian. Ukrainian is beautiful for sure, my favorite language and favorite Slavic language. Another really pretty Slavic language is Slovene. I was enamored when I first heard my friend speaking Polish with her mother. Taiwanese. German. Yeah, for real. It's so rhythmic and precise. I like Icelandic. To my ear it sounds like the concept of a pixel dancing on water. Believe it or not, German. Ever since I've been studying, I just love the sound of the language and its very unique way of saying things. You might say I'm in love. Welsh. It's no wonder it inspired Elven languages. I can't judge my native tongues. So, in foreign languages, Russian 1, German 2, Welsh 3, French 4, Italian 5. Estonian, I don't know how else to describe it, but it has this sort of soothing, fantasy-ish sound to it that I can't get enough of. Hebrew. French. One of Tolkien's Elvish dialects. It may not be the answer you're looking for, but check it out maybe. Portuguese. German sounds good and elegant too. Gaulish or Hawaiian. Patois and Castellano FTW. 3-9. Korean is cool sounding after watching the movie Parasite. Korean all the way. I could listen to Korean for hours. Korean ASMR is incredibly relaxing to me. Swedish sounds nice too, but it's too close to my native language. Norwegian. Chinese, Korean, Italian, Japanese, Spanish, French. Estonian emo. I love the different rounded vowel sounds and I'm a sucker for geminate consonants. Either Ukrainian or Occitan. Occitan spoken is more beautiful I think. But Ukrainian poetry, because of the grammatical cases and word order, or lack thereof, the poetry becomes freer and more expressive. Very biased here, but I just love how Japanese and Russian sounds my favorites. Other than that, I really love how Italian, other Slavic languages, Polish, Serbian, Croatian, Ukrainian etc., German, Scandinavian languages and Finnish sounds like. Edit: few typos I've made. Lol. Scottish Gaelic, romantic face. 1. Brazilian Portuguese seems to be a consensus around here, and I agree it sounds like music when my parents speak it at the table too. German, I don't know why, it sounds rich and reminds me of Yiddish. My extended family speak it, so it sounds familiar. 3. Hebrew, I might be biased because it's my language, but if I hear the Bible in any other language other than Hebrew, it's cringy. The language is very efficient in words and sounds, so verses sound like tiny poems. Russian, Norwegian and RP English. Brits will disagree, I guess. Sung is German, poems is Russian, namely Pushkin, and spoken is Hindi, Sestwana, Dokarian, Norse and Gothic, Arabic, Welsh and Celtic languages in general, Finnish, Latin, and Temne. I am biased, lol. Hebrew, Valencian variety of Catalan followed by Argentine Spanish. Classical Nahuatl, Greek. The language itself makes you sound like you speak about something philosophical. Definitely Korean and modern Greek. My personal favorites are European Portuguese, Mandarin Chinese, and Hawaiian. Korean and Catalan sound really nice, but I think it depends more on person speaking it rather than the sounds the language produces. Because I don't think any language would sound amazing spoken by a sick person with a raspy throat. Seen American Sign Language, also probably most sign languages, but I've only seen ASL enough to comment. Definitely Swahili and Xhosa. I want to learn it but can't find any resources anywhere. I studied abroad a year ago and was proud that I recognized most of the languages I heard other exchange students from around the world speaking. One small group was speaking a language that, while beautiful, I could not place at all. I had no idea even what family or continent it might be from. That language was Finnish. I'm also quite fond of Korean, while I understand neither language at all. Japanese is beautiful. Emo, Korean for sure. It flows nicely and reminds me a lot of the way French flows. Farsi. I neither speak it nor understand it, but I find it so melodic. I love the way it sounds. German, Germany. When I first moved to Germany, the language was totally foreign. But over time I found that Germany was a place that felt like home, and German was a language that I felt weirdly more comfortable being myself in than English. So every time I hear German now it reminds me of home, and that's the most wonderful thing I can think of. Cape Verdean Criollo, Russian I think. I also like Brazilian Portuguese, but it is my native language, so it's hard to say how much. Arabic and Irish. Many similarities between the two. Case in point. Also English and Japanese. Portuguese, Swedish. It's so musical. Brazilian Portuguese, there are so many beautiful sounds and I love the intonation and emphasis and everything. I find it so filled with emotion and nothing comes close for me. To me it's Malayalam, Korean, so beautiful. American Sign Language. I love the sound of Romance languages, especially French and Italian, as well as Arabic. French. I love the way Korean sounds. It sounds super romantic, passionate and youthful to me. I really love spoken classical Latin. Italian is very nice too. I don't like French that much. Irish, Greenheart, Kandahar dialect of Pashto. I think it is Portuguese. By the way, I teach Portuguese for free on Instagram. Check it out. Portuguese easy. Brazilian Portuguese. Uzbek obviously. Native Spanish with a Russian dad here, and I'm not saying this to impress, since I assume most of you are native English, but American English sounds like breathing. It's deep breathing with rounded words. I like when I speak it, it is like clearing your mouth, if that makes sense. Edit. My favorite word to say is thunk. I know it's improper but damn it feels nice to say. Latin. I'm an English native and I would say Irish and French are beautiful accents. But, I actually think the most beautiful sounding language for me is Hebrew. I had a teacher that spoke Levantine Arabic and it was gorgeous. It has that breathy warmth to it and it was a lot prettier than I imagined it would be. French. Basque. For me sounds like a really sweet language and the scripture looks cool. I really like Bangla. Nahuatl. Mandarin is so beautiful to me. I love listening to people speak it. Mongolian, Italian, and Japanese. Finnish, absolutely beautiful. French. Finnish, might be because my girlfriend is Finnish, but I have never heard a love song with so much feeling as a Finnish love breakup song. Urdu and Punjabi. I would have to say Tagalog. Something about conversing with Pinoy makes me fall in love with the language and culture. German JK, French. French, romantic face. I'm learning the basics now. Elvish. Mandarin, Navajo, Swahili. I don't know, every language sounds pretty to me. I guess they all sound exciting. Let me huck a grenade into this thread. Sindarin, Dari. Albanian, not to insult anyone, but Filipino Tagalog is my least fave. From a native Spanish speaker. Mandarin Chinese. Once I began to distinguish the different tones, I realized how beautiful and soothing the language is. I'd have to say my native Hawaiian is like pure music to the ears, especially the standard variety, even though it may not be the most authentic. Listen to Puake and Ajelmir give announcements in it. Wonderful. Standard Mandarin, not the dialects of either too far north or too far south by a soft-spoken female, can also be quite beautiful, as well as the Rio de Janeiro pronunciation of Brazilian Portuguese. Japanese.